The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily represent those of this station or its management.
This is the Stockwell Roche Show, giving you real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Josh Roche.
Good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
We have an awesome special show for you today. We're very excited with our guest today. We have Maddie Bjorgum with Gradient Home Mortgage. Maddie B.
Hello.
We have Casey Thrash, who has been gone for a while but is back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
And we have the one and only. Well, really? Wow. No wonder she's
That's why I've been gone.
Busy.
And we have the wonderful Katie Stockwell.
Katie.
My wife, Katie Stockwell, on the show. Welcome.
Honored to have you on the show.
Welcome,
stop.
Katie.
Don't stop. Okay. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So we have tons of topics today, but first I want to tell one thing. June is our loyal listener. We talk about you folks a lot, the loyal listeners out there. It's our Listener Appreciation Month. We're very grateful to be on the show and very grateful to be giving you information and grateful that you're listening. So for you out there this month of June, two things you got to do, and we're giving away prizes. So we're doing $150 gift cards, $150, Visa, Target, whatever you want. We're doing 4 drawings in the month of June. June 8th, June 15th, June 22nd, June 29th. And all you got to do to get entered into the drawing is go to the Stockwell Roche Show on Facebook. So just go to Stockwell Roche, R-O-U-E-S.
R-O-U-E-C-H-E.
R-O-U-C-H-E. But just do Stockwell, S-T-O-C-K-W-E-L-L. Go there, like our page. So you have two things to do. Like our page, and then put a comment about something about our show that you like about our show. So if you do that, you're automatically entered. The winners will be posted every week, and then you'll get a $150 gift card. So we'll talk more about this too, but that is our listener appreciation we're doing for the month of June. 4 chances to win $150. It's an awesome deal. So we need to get the likes up on the Facebook page and get more people active on our page is what we're trying to do. So appreciate everybody that does listen out there. So, but our show today, we have Woof Central, which which Josh did the promo for, which is great. He did that exact bark. But they are going to be on in the next segment and the following 2 segments. And then Katie and Casey and Maddie B and Josh and I are going to be talking about a number of things on this segment. But first, market update, Josh.
Market update. Things have dipped a little bit. We're seeing in the market. We're seeing interest rates go up a little bit. Maddie, I'm sure Matt will go through that a little bit here in a second. But we're seeing from this time last year, we're still up in the new listings, but we're only up, a little bit less than 1%. We're seeing still a lot of offers are in on the tables. People are accepting a lot of offers. We're seeing a lot of multiple offer situations. So we're seeing pending sales are still up 18.6%. And our change in inventory, we're still down 4% right now in the Twin City market. So
Yep. Still, but you have to be smart when you're going on to sell your house. So be smart about how you do it, because a lot of people, now that the market has recovered to pre-recession levels, they're taking advantage and putting their house on the market. So that infill of properties coming on the market now is fulfilling the buyer frenzy, and it's still great overall. It's just slowing a little bit, but it's still a great overall market, and the interest rates are, Maddie B, what's happening there?
They've been fluctuating this week. It's we've seen some ticks up.
Yep, they're ticking up.
It's it kind of goes in with some of the stuff that I've got as far as some of the updates I've got. But yeah, the rates not like they were.
Yep.
Not super. I don't want to say they're not stable. 4% still a fantastic interest rate.
Right.
Fantastic interest rate. But we've seen them tick up. So those of you who have been sitting out there and maybe on a fence, like, do I buy? Do I sell? Do I not do something? Do I wait till next year? I personally would not wait. I would not wait.
So when you get nervous about rates, do you see it like a 0.25% tick up, 0.25%? That's a big.
I'll be honest with you. 0.125 is enough for me to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is a trend. And there was a lot of news that came out from the Fed this week, and last week. So there's some key pieces that are kind of driving this right now. I don't think the Fed's actually raising our interest rates. I think it's people who are putting their money into two different, either into stocks or into bonds right now, and there's been a fundamental shift that's caused interest rates. I think it's the news that's come out that's kind of driven that.
That's causing that. Okay, so we'll get into other topics with Maddie B that we're excited to talk about. boomerang buyers. My son Asher, our son Kitty, and our son Asher has a boomerang which he loves to throw in the backyard. But there's a phrase called boomerang buyers, and we'll be talking more about them later. But Casey and Katie, I know you guys have been working hard. Josh is also doing the similar deal here. We have a new release. You want to share with what's going on and what got you into the magazine, or actually it's a newspaper, and also what's been happening with it. And tell all about it. Share everything you want to talk about it. So.
Well, we're excited to announce that we are releasing our Edina Living magazine. Coming out middle of June is our first issue. It's our latest and greatest project on the Stockwell team, other than having a baby coming up in August.
That's awesome.
We've got that going on too.
That's awesome.
Baby number 3. But our our newspaper is focused on the Edina community. And it's just a publication that's going to be going out to all Edina homes, which is over 23,000.
It's a lot of homes.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've been trying to perfect it, and I've been working well with Casey. She's put in a lot of time and effort too. Jason has, burning the midnight oil, and we just really want to keep it local. We want to talk about the local real estate market. We also want to talk about Edina businesses. We do Edina Business Spotlight every month, so we focus on what their specialty is, just kind of bringing them more out into the community. Some businesses that people may not be as aware of. We're focusing on the grass-fed cattle company next month for July.
Cool.
Yeah, they have
Very
a really
cool.
good delivery
Very cool.
system too for their grass-fed cows. And then we have a highlight on the Edina schools. And this month I noticed that 2 people in the Edina school system scored perfect ACT scores. Jason, I know you're perfect in every way. Did you get a perfect ACT score? Did you get a 36?
For me, it was perfect.
Was
I don't know
it?
what
That's a 36. That would be
Katie, you need to be on the
best
show every week.
That was the best answer ever. For me, it was perfect.
For me, it was perfect.
I didn't know it went that high. I thought I nailed it with
Well,
the
you
22.
take 36
or
divided by 2.
I actually got like a 20 something. I don't know what 26.
Well,
20.
he got-
I was
I
going
got
to
a
say a
24.
20-something's it's a big range.
He got
Yeah.
into college, so that's
Yeah,
good,
that's-
I guess. And then we also do like special interest stories. So this month we're focusing on the bees. We know that the bees are
The bee's knees.
the bee's knees. I
Right.
was just going to say that.
Oh, I'm
Stop
sorry.
stealing
See,
my
now-
line.
now-
Can you tell they're married?
Gosh. I'm kicking him under the table. But no, we're talking about ways that Edina residents can help protect the bees, protect the pollinators. Our neighbors to the north, St. Louis Park, just passed a great initiative talking about keeping the bees safe by not putting chemicals in their parks, and we talk all about that and what we can do personally by buying systemic pesticide-free plants, or organic is easy to remember, for our gardens. So we talk
a lot of
about
news
that.
about bees lately. I've been seeing all over
I've
Facebook
seen it all
They're
over.
kind of a
too.
big
about honey
deal.
and all these
Yep.
issues that are going on. So there's a bunch of stuff in there. I'm so proud of the work, and I know it's been a ton of work that Casey and Katie put into this
It is
thing.
a lot of work.
Josh is doing one. Josh, you have got one coming up.
I've got one coming up in the Blaine area.
in the
We're doing
Blaine area?
About
Yep.
10,000 homes up in Blaine. We're hitting a lot of the lakes area up there, and then the new home construction that's going on up there as well. So
Nice.
we're doing about the same thing that Jason's doing.
Very similar.
Wow.
So it's a good way to get local activity out to the community, and also grow awareness for many things, and also grow your brand also as realtors, that we want to let you know that we're here to help you buy, sell, or refinance, or whatever you're looking for. We can help. So with that, anything else that we want to talk about on the magazines, or I'm sorry, I keep calling them
Yeah,
magazines.
you do. You do
I
that
know.
a lot.
On the newspapers. Anything
On the
else you want to talk
newspaper.
about
It's
on
not
the
glossy.
newspapers?
It's a
Well,
real
Jason's
newspaper.
picture is right on the front page.
Is it up?
So
Is it
are
a-
you
is-
you're as well on the
I
front
am.
page
I
of
am
yours,
on the.
right?
But is Jason? How old is Jason's picture?
That was from
That's
last
no,
year.
that's from
Okay,
last
that's
year.
good. Really
Yeah.
good. Look
That's
good. Then
our
I've got
family
the-
photos.
Then
We
I've got
just
the older
cropped the
picture.
family
That's
out.
awesome.
Yep. You can get home values on these within moments. You go online, no obligation, no cost. Type in your address and get your home value right on there right away. So it's good info, and we're excited to get it out. And we'll have a Facebook page called Edina Living. We already have a Facebook page called Edina Living for that. Josh, I'm sure, is going to have one
Yep,
set up for
the
his.
Blaine Community Expert. Will
So
be
they'll
mine.
have that, and you'll find all that stuff online. And tons of good information from resources like Maddie B will be in their
Yep.
articles,
Yep.
from lenders and insurance agents and things like that, too, with great, valuable information.
Matt's in our June issue, so shout out to Matt. Whoop whoop.
So
That's a better
to
dog bark. Woo, woo.
So to,
Shout out.
Oh, One Level Living. There'll be a bunch of One Level Living. We had a show on One Level Living, which was great about the
Hashtag.
resources that are coming, or the projects that are coming up in Roseville and in Richfield.
Richfield.
There's a ton of One Level stuff and lots of interest in One Level Living, so you'll see that in there as well. So, but Maddie B, what's happening with? I'm curious, shifting gears here to the boomerang term. What's a boomerang buyer?
I got this quote of the week first. The first and most important step towards success is feeling that we can succeed. Kind of goes hand in hand with the boomerang buyer. I had a company that I was part of here back during the kind of the demise of our industry, how the foreclosure crisis happened. We helped people to work with their banks to do loan modifications and to negotiate short sales and to kind of get people on a path because a lot of people were just flat out lost. And those buyers that went through that time may have lost their home in foreclosure, short sold their home, knew that they were going to have to go rent or find alternative living ways instead of just buying a new house rate with a regular purchase agreement and going through a lender. Those people are coming back. They're doing what your kid's boomerang does, which is if he throws it the right way, it's going to come back and it's going to come to his hand. They're coming back into play again, where they've circled around, they've waited the time period that needed to be waited, and they're actually back at the forefront of being able to purchase again. And one of the key points that I talked about is finances for these buyers is going to be really a top of mind thing. They've gone through destruction in their life. They're not going to let it happen again. So these are buyers that I'm working with right now. Like having that business, we have people that we've talked to in the past that are actually coming back full circle. Like, hey, Matt, I don't know if you remember me, but you worked with me when I was losing my house, and I know I've waited long enough now. We'd like to, we think we got things figured out. We paid our debts off. We've waited enough time so that we match up with being a first-time home buyer again. This program is, these buyers are going to be huge in our marketplace. Anybody that went through that they're solid buyers.
Right. And they've went through the bottom of the barrel.
Times,
so if you or someone loved one, family member, coworker, friend from church, went through we all went through the downturn, but suffered severely in the downturn, meaning they suffered from a foreclosure, a bankruptcy, something negative that affected their credit that they don't think they can purchase a home. Reach out to Maddie B, because you may be surprised at the turnaround time that you can now do. The rules and the whole perception of the 7 years or 10 years or all these things, that's not the reality in today's market.
That is not the reality.
You can if you've shown a path and taken the proper steps, or talked to Warren and done a credit repair, you can buy within a year, 16 months.
Yeah, I had a rep who was in my office earlier today that has a program we can talk about in the next segment.
Yeah, so that's the Boomerang Buyers. So welcome back, Boomerang Buyers. We're excited. So thanks, Maddie B. Katie, thanks again you'll be back. And we're going to talk more when we get back with Woof Central. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Oh, gosh.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
So we are moving to our second segment, and thanks for staying with us.
Thanks for that song, Chris. That's great. I love that song.
Great song. We have Don and Lori Swatella here. Welcome, Don and Lori.
Thank you.
So for all you pet lovers, now I know there's thousands and millions of pet lovers around the country, and sometimes our pets become like our children,
right?
Or they are our children. I mean, when we treat them very well. I know we had Elliot Eisenberg with graphsandlaughs.com on, and he talked about Americans spend, and I don't know the number, but it was billions.
It was a lot.
It wasn't millions. It was billions on their pets, and there's pet insurance. There's all kinds of things. So pets are very, very. We have Katie and I. We have a dog. We love the dog, Sammy.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yes. So pets are wonderful. They're great for the family and dogs, cats, and all kinds of pets. But the company Don and Lori Swatella run and own is Woof Central.
Woof.
Woof Central.
Woof.
Oh.
You don't bring your wolf.
Woof, woof. Oh, I'm sorry.
Woof.
It's
Woof. Right.
Woof Central. My bad on that. So Woof Central. So that says, I'll just read right here what you guys do. You're 5 stars on Yelp, so that you got very good positive customer rating.
That's great.
I imagine you guys are dog lovers or pet lovers.
We are.
Like many of you out there listening. You guys provide top-notch care for dogs and peace of mind for the owners with personalized attention for each and every dog. So this isn't like the pound where you just throw them in a crate and call them good for the week. Their mission is to provide a safe environment and positive experience that both dogs and doggy parents will look forward to repeating. They have 5,000 square foot climate controlled indoor play space for their dogs, 4 separate play areas. They have temperament, age, size, and play. They categorize the playmates by temperament, age, size, and playfulness. Fresh air comes in 4 to 5 times a day. It's just awesome deal. There's dog taxis that they can do for you, grooming, boarding, you name it. So it's woofcentraldogs.com is the website. So
is
Don
it like a
and Lori,
daycare?
yeah,
Dog daycare.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
And
doggy
boarding.
daycare.
Yeah, doggy
That's
daycare.
awesome.
What's a dog taxi?
Yes.
So that's
It's,
what I get to do, and it'd be surprised. Yeah, you may be surprised. People are super busy,
Yep.
and they're using us for their daycare socialization for their dog because they don't want to leave them at home. Sometimes dogs, just need to be around others.
Yep.
Dogs usually love being in packs, and they can't get their dog at the end of the day, or they can't bring them in the morning because they're busy doing other things. So
That's
we
the
stop
taxi
in,
set.
pick
Yeah,
up their
that's
dog,
sweet.
and they get them at the end of the day. And sometimes we do it both ways. Mostly it's just usually one of the 2 ways.
Wow, that's very cool.
That's very
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
So Lori, what got you into this business? Tell us a little story, history of yourselves, and what got you into the business.
We have been married 23 years, and for all of those 23 years, we wanted to own a business, and we thought maybe it would be marketing, because that was our background. And then we met my cousin's dog named Oli, who was a very old pug, and she had taken him to dog daycare. This was probably 8-9 years ago. And she was only 20-something, and she was at a retail job, and we said, well, where's Oli at the family gathering? And she said, well, he's at doggy daycare. And we said, you are spending money on what? She was totally crazy. And, of course, that sounded great because we love dogs. And the more we looked into it over the course of many years, and we got DVDs on how to start a dog daycare business, and we found out that it's kind of recession-proof because people might not go to Aruba or buy a new car. But up here, we love our pets. And so they were not going to give up on their pets. And if you look at the spending, it just kept going through the recession.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of money into it. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
So
really
you
We,
guys, so that spurred the
that spurred it.
Oli.
It was
spurred
Oli.
the idea.
Oli.
Yep.
Yes,
So
the pug. Right.
A mug up to Oli.
And then, so there's a pug Oli, and then does Oli have a friend, Sven, or something?
No, but I think she needed to have, yes. Or Lena.
Or Lena, yes.
Yeah.
My ex does this with their dogs. So they've got like 2 dogs too, and they do this doggy daycare.
Daycare?
And I'm like, it's ridiculous. How many?
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous how much money they spend on it, but it makes sense because you see a lot of singles out there that they're scared to get married. They don't want to get married, but they do have their pets,
So
Yep.
I think
and that's huge.
yeah, I think
Or
with
even
this-
family pets. You get so busy with the kids and the work schedules
Soccer
and stuff like that.
tournaments and-
that your
Exactly.
you don't want to have your dog in the kennel all day.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you have one dog at your house, which most people do, they don't get the pack. They don't have the play run around time and stuff.
I'll tell you
like
what, you can tell the difference too when they get their dogs home back at night. They're tired.
Really?
They get worn out.
I
and
know.
They go out.
Yeah, they get.
Yeah,
go out.
people will call us and they'll say, oh, this is so great. My pet is just passed out.
It's like they had a whole day like a day at school with the regular kids.
Yeah.
It's
just
kind of like
yeah.
scheduling like play dates for your kids
Right.
because we've had friends bring their dogs over to play at night, and
Yeah.
I noticed that Sammy just loves it, and he gets anxious during the day when we're gone. We adopted him from secondhand hounds, and he gets so anxious when we leave him at home. If we have to leave him for more than 10 minutes,
Right.
probably still
Yeah,
freaks out.
and he
even
gets
during the
anxious
10
right away. You
minutes.
close the door, he starts running around trying
Anxiety.
to figure
Yeah.
out where you are and stuff like
So
that.
this would be a great alternative.
I think it's extended the ability of people to own dogs, especially the youngest ones or the ones that are super busy, because we're there to fill in the gap. When they can't
Yes.
be around or when they need something extra, there's businesses like ours that can step up and help them. And it allows them not to feel guilty and for their dog to get what they need. And it's really good. It's a really nice thing to be able to offer that service, and we love our dogs, every one of them.
That's awesome.
And it's been great.
And is there, so for those of you out there listening that have pets or have maybe utilized a service like that, for Don and Lori, is it something that's a schedule that, I imagine there's all kinds of variety of things, but if you're going on a vacation and you guys do that for like a 2-week deal or a 1-week deal or a 3-day deal?
Yeah, we have everything from people who, a lot of people with kids, maybe they have kids, they've got the lab, so just every once in a while they need it when they're doing construction on their house, or, the guys are coming to set up the phone lines and the dog's going to go nuts, or they're going to go to the state fair all day. Then there's people who they know they need it 3-4 times a week, and they're scheduling 3-4 times a week for daycare. And we've had boardings, everything from overnight for weekends because we're going to a wedding or having a graduation party, to a lady who goes regularly to China for 3 weeks. And we have got Kinley, and he becomes he's our second home guy and hangs out with us. And
so is this all done? I know you said you have a 5,000 square foot. So is this an addition or part of your home, or is this a separate business?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually found a building close to our home, about a mile from us. We purchased in October, but it's 11,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
So
The
we
whole
continue
building,
to build it and expand inside of it and offer more and more as we develop our business.
It is actually kind of funny because people say, "Oh, you guys do dog daycare? That's so great! It's right out of your home." And we're like, "No, it's 11,000 square feet. We have 75 dogs."
No, as far as bringing the dog in, is there like an interview process that they have to come in? And
Yep.
There is.
There is an interview process, and it goes from not only getting information from the owners, but also taking time to spend with that dog on its first day. And we've decided early, right from the beginning, we were not going to charge for the assessment. It's a free day of daycare. It's on us. Not every dog passes.
Right.
Not every dog's built to be in a playroom and can behave themselves without getting in trouble. And so we look for 4 things. This is good for people to know. If your dog greets other people well, if your dog greets other dogs well, if your dog can play in a playroom without going, overboard, and can they be in a suite or a den without getting too stressed out if you're planning on boarding.
Right.
Those are the 4 things that we look for. And if they pass, and we simply think in colors, green, yellow, and red. If there's green and yellow behavior, they get to come back. If there's red behaviors, which could be unsafe for them or their dog or other dogs,
right.
they don't get to come back. And it keeps the pack, safe, and our employees more.
75 dogs. There's a kind of that's the regulars anywhere. That's the ones that you're working with.
50 to 75 dogs in there a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So our customer base is much larger than that, but on a regular basis,
Yeah.
it's
very cool.
Started out with basically us and 7 dogs, 5 of which were not paying customers, and now we're up to
Yeah.
How many do you have? Yourselves that you own?
Oh, no.
We own 1 dog.
Oh, you have 1 dog. Oh, I thought you said 7 dogs
No, at
yourself.
the first day of our business, it was just us
They were
rattling
watching
around
it.
in there.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
So then we finally have grown our customer base, which is great. And dogs don't lie. They come in and, if they're not happy, you can tell they don't want to run downstairs. But usually they're blowing past the front desk and egging on their leash to go downstairs where the playroom is. And it's fun to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, and so as far as this, is this just something for maybe those 1%ers out there that have a lot of money and extra disposable income, or what type of clientele do you get?
I'll try to answer that. It's not disposable income. I think what it does is it's part of their actual budget. It's their thing that they're
budget,
deciding
yep.
to do.
It's just like having kids. You have a
it's
kid
part of their
budget.
kid expense, just like a kid would go to daycare. People plan for a 1 or 2 visit a week, or they go on vacation. They know it's going to cost a certain amount to have someone watch their dog, and if they can't find a neighbor, and they
You're an
use a
alternative,
facility
right.
like us, it's part of their vacation budget or monthly budget.
Yeah, and like Don said, I think it's a good way to say that it extends being able to own a dog. And we've got a lot of, young professionals who work a lot of hours, and
They have
if they're
to,
going to be
right.
gone all day, and then have a meeting at night, or we should really offer a sweetheart special, because people will be like, well, it's Friday night and we want to go out tonight. So we want the dog to be tired.
Right.
And, because
yep.
they're going to be gone until midnight or whatever. So.
Yeah.
And we should also have a construction special. We've got a lot of dogs who
Look at
do
the
not
ideas.
like
I like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
And the baby special. A lot of people having babies, and
Yeah.
so we've got kind of
good
a
idea.
spot held for them when that baby comes, that the dog can come and be safe.
And so you guys are located off of Penn Avenue, just south of 62 in Richfield.
Yeah, right off Crosstown.
And anybody can go from anywhere to bring it in. How far for your taxi service? Where does that go? Where do
We
you
try
guys-
to stay within 7 miles, just
Okay.
so we can get them without having, large delays.
Yep.
So within a 7-mile radius, we'll do it. It's only $10 additional fee for each way, and
Yeah, your prices are reasonable.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
looking at
looking
your
at them too.
so
They're-
online
they're
your prices
wow.
you have nail trimming that you do. Some people hate to do that
Right.
with their dogs, and then go to the vet. And it might-
That's the worst, actually. Yeah, some
And our groomers are great. They're fast, and they're not afraid to be the bad guy.
and you
and
have,
the
and you
dog's
have
the one.
a meal for them, pet taxi. What's a stuffed Kong? Is that just a play toy?
Nope, actually, we have a little bit of a treat inside of there, and they get to lick it and spend
Peanut
some
butter
time.
or yogurt or
Oh,
something.
wow. Cool.
Takes time.
So this is Woof Central
Central.
Dogs.
Woof Central.
WOOF centraldogs.com. You can find them. We'll be back with more information from Don and Lori. Thanks so much for the information. And go to Facebook, Stockwell Roche Show. Like the page and put in something
Some kind of
ideally
comment.
that you like about the show, but a comment. You'll be automatically entered 4 times this month, the month of June, $150 drawings for Visa or Target gift cards. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results,
Josh Roche, Remax Advantage Plus.
and we'll be back.
Who let the dogs out?
I know.
Who let the dogs out?
Love this song.
Who let the dogs
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results,
Josh Roche, Remax Advantage Plus.
and we're talking with Wolf Central, Don and Lori, and they own Wolf Central. 5 stars on Yelp, and they do doggy daycare is what it is. And Katie, I wanted to say thank you. You wanted to say something on break that you wanted to share that actually related to the 2
do.
realtors sitting here, Josh and
Katie's
myself.
always got our back. I love it.
What did you want to share?
Well, with my marketing and PR background, I was thinking, how could we bring in real estate to this? But no, in all seriousness, when I know that when we moved, it was very stressful on our dog. I'm just talking about the move itself.
They
So,
absolutely freak out.
yeah, I mean, and they're like people, you know what I mean? And it's a huge transition for anybody to move. And so just to have a place for the dog to go during the day. And I love the idea of the dog taxi coming to, because the day of the move, hello, shoot me, it's stressful. I mean, we know how
Yeah,
it
it
goes.
was. And the dog was nuts.
Well, you weren't there when we moved.
Oh,
but
that's
anyways,
right. I was working.
Jason went to work the whole day. Okay, so then, and I'm also
But
thinking,
it was stressful. Believe me, it was very, very stressful.
all the phone calls he got from me. And also, when you're listing your home and you're having people come in and show your house, you're having all these new people come in, you want the dog to be somewhere safe. And
How about,
feel
here's an
good.
idea, and I love it, Katie. Thank you. That's very brilliant. If you're within 7 miles of 63rd and Penn Avenue, you could maybe do the pet pickup during a showing.
Yeah.
So that someone can come and
Showings are so last
you have a
minute.
service that can come and pick up your pet. Today. So today's Sunday. So let's say you have a showing on Tuesday. You just call ahead, say, hey, can I do a taxi service on Tuesday from X time to X time, or pick up at this time, and then I'll pick them up after work, or her up after work, and then there you go. So that's a very good thing to do. Actually, we should be telling some clients about that too
should.
that have dogs, because that
Now, how would
our
that
dogs.
work? Would we have to get an interview first of the dog before they start doing that?
Yes, we would have the owner of that dog come in. We would give them a free day of daycare to
Okay.
begin with, just to make sure they pass that assessment we talked about earlier. And then
Yep.
they're welcome to come back anytime they want.
Yeah, you can always get a free day by seeing if the program works for you. There's tons of different arrays of scheduling here on their website with the daycare and all the times and costs and things like that. And they also had an article, I think Casey provided this, ASPCA, which is American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And they talk about dog
Sarah McLaughlin.
daycare, right? Is that Sarah McLaughlin? Is that the commercial?
I don't know. Is that the one?
Probably.
I just know she's got that commercial on TV.
yeah,
I
she
know.
does.
It's always so sad,
Right.
especially
It
for
is tough to
pregnant
watch.
I think
ladies.
she has one of her songs on. It just crushes you.
But so I'm not as familiar with it. Don and Laura, you guys are probably more familiar with this. ASPCA. They talk about the benefits as far as just being the dog being cooped up for 8 hours in a kennel. Is it basically cruelty? Essentially, or could be deemed cruelty, or
I don't know if we're going to go that far, because a lot of people, their dogs are fine in a kennel, but a lot of dogs, especially if you come from rescue, they can have anxiety issues and not want to be alone. And also, when you get a new puppy, the dogs teach each other dog language. You know, what's no and what's yes. And I'm an older dog. I'm gonna say ruff, and you're gonna go, oh yeah, okay, I get it, and I'm gonna back off. And they teach each other that language, like kids needing to learn to be with other kids. So it serves the socialization purpose, and then just not getting bored and alone. And if the dog isn't comfortable being kenneled, they can wreck your house, which isn't a good thing, especially
Yes.
when they're younger and depending on the breed and depending on if they've been a rescue and just having an outlet. They get really tired being there all day.
They do.
It is a good
I used to work
thing.
at Armstrong or at the kennels up north when I was like 14 years old. So I would take dogs out for their walks and you could see that. You could see that, some of these dogs get super depressed when they're all alone sitting in there, and you see it.
Yeah.
And then some of them you learn you don't even come close to that dog because that dog's upset. That dog will bite. There's a couple of Rottweilers I remember that chased me around. It was not fun.
Really?
That would be scary.
That was scary. That was not fun at all.
So this
Gosh, running from a couple of Rottweilers.
Not fun to feed those dogs whatsoever.
All of
I
our-
actually
let you in the
all of
cage.
our people are very well trained to
Okay,
watch for
good.
those signals in the
Right.
dogs.
I like a lot about what they were talking about with, we have our green light, yellow light, red light. If you got a bunch of red lights, they're not going to be there. If you're gonna get a new puppy, and that dog needs to learn the socialization and the yeses and the nos and how to, communicate with another dog and how to be able to be around other dogs.
Yep.
That kind of goes hand in hand with how it's going to, react around the humans that it's around as well. Like
And the
I
dogs.
like the fact that I could take my dog if I got a new puppy to a place that has dogs that they've already deemed are good dogs to have other dogs around. That's huge.
Yep.
It's like going to the dog park and knowing that every dog there is good and it's not going to attack your animal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
and
vaccinated and
Yep.
it'd probably be good for the dogs too because, if you have one dog and they're alone all the time, this would be 2 days a week. 2-3 hours, take them to the daycare and have them be social and interact, and dogs love it. I know Sammy, our dog, when our friend Jason comes over with his dog, Hammy, or is it Hammy or Chewy? I don't.
It's Chewy.
Chewy. They are just inseparable the whole time. He could be there for 3 hours, and those dogs are inseparable. And then they both take a little break, and then they both get up again and run around, and
Back at
they
it.
just love it.
And
so,
they say goodbye to one another, which
That's
I think is
hilarious.
weird, but they do it.
They-
And they just
do?
have
Do
Do they
this-
do that
They
paw?
do.
Do they paw it up?
Don't do that.
I'm like,
They pound it out.
Doggy
pound.
my wife Katie's a dog whisperer, I guess. I do not see this or hear this when they say goodbye to each other.
There are a lot of things you don't know about me, Jason. Anyways,
Hilarious.
no, and you were talking, I don't know if you mentioned this on the radio, but you said that you have that new baby special or you have something that kind of goes
We've had
hand
a
in hand
lot.
with.
Same with moving. A lot of people, these young couples, are having their first baby, and it really helps to we'll say when's your due date, and make sure that we've kind of got a kennel ready, and grandma might bring them in, and 2 days later, the new dad comes in and his hair's all, and he's in that new baby bubble and picks up the dog and, they bring a T-shirt home and make sure
Yep.
the dog has smelled
The
something
smell.
from the baby. And we kind of help them through it because like moving, dogs can wig out over having something new coming in the house. And
Yes.
Huge
we had one
transition.
French bulldog who we all swear knew that mom was pregnant at 5 months. He started laying his head on her tummy.
Oh
my gosh.
Really?
5 months.
I heard that dogs can know. Yeah.
My dog did something not necessarily laying on the stomach, but she wanted nothing to do with me, and wanted everything to be. She would I've got pictures of her stocking stuff at the house.
Really?
She's folding laundry, sitting right next to her. She's like, "Why is your dog doing this?" Like, "Because you're pregnant."
Yeah.
And she's like,
She's all
"That's
about
weird." You're like, and
guarding.
she likes dogs, but she's
Protective.
not super dog person. And
Yeah.
this dog was like, "I want to be I want to lean on you. I'm just I want to just lean on you. Are you
Wow.
okay with that?"
So make sure you're
Dogs
just
are great.
fine. Yep.
And we talked a lot about, so this is all dogs.
This is all dogs,
Okay.
nothing else.
No
So
cats.
no cats.
Did you think there was
Okay.
people, or what were you asking about?
Like other people, other people have snakes. They have
Bearded
iguanas, They
dragons.
have
Yeah,
there's all kinds of other pets out there. I didn't know if it would include
llama.
those.
Yeah.
And if,
Canaries.
Where do
Well,
I
it's
bring
called
my
Woof
pet llama?
Central.
so you're listening to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh O'Shea, Remax Advantage Plus.
You can find us at tcrealestatehour.com, tcrealestatehour.com. Call us, 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. And again, June, loyal listeners, we're talking to you, the loyal listeners out there. We have June as Appreciation Month. 4 drawings for $150 gift cards, June 8th, June 15th, June 22nd, June 29th. 2 things you got to do. Go to Facebook, like our Stockwell Roche Show page, and put a comment on there with something about the show. And Katie, we have with us again today, we have Maddie Bjorgum with Grading Home Mortgage. We have Don and Lori with Woof Central, and Katie Stockwell, my lovely wife here. So we want to shift now and go into, so we learned about how this business, which is a great business, thanks so much, works for all kinds of things, including real estate, and it can be showings, it can be babies, it can be moving, it can be construction, it can be anything. It can be just a simple, hey, I'm running to the store to do stuff
Yep.
and do all my shopping. and I'm just going to drop the dog off for a few hours.
Like I could see this being something that'd be great for like the Christmas shoppers. Like I'm gonna go out Black Friday and I'm gonna go nail as much of the stuff on my list off as I can. Like I could see you guys getting an influx during like the Christmas season. Like
And
Mm-hmm.
when
people are
it's
like, I'm
really
gonna
cold out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone all day. I don't want to have to worry about my dog, and I know that it's going to a good place.
Yeah, and you got overnight stuff too, right? So
Oh, yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
yeah. So everything is there. So it's great, and it's good for the dogs, and it's good for you, and the prices are great in a convenient location. And I would definitely recommend going to woofcentraldogs.com and find the information on our Facebook page or on our website. We'll have that on there. Thanks again, Don. Thank you, Lori. And we'll have to check it out. Maybe Katie, maybe we should bring Sammy down for a
I'm thinking so.
Hey, look at him.
Yeah.
check it out and see.
Our
what-
dog kennel is really far away, so I like this idea of the dog taxi and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's
and the new
awesome.
baby coming up. So
So, Maddie B, where our next segment, I'm going to leave it up to you to tell us what is going on in real estate stuff. We talked about boomerang buyers. What else is happening?
We've got the new changes coming effective August 1st.
Oh gosh, those changes.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Trilla. What do they call it? Trulia? No.
That's awesome. The triad. Our
Anything triad scares me.
yeah,
It reminds
and
me of
this
like
this is not. I see the domino effect of missing a closing by a couple hours and then a couple hours, but like people changing a loan program. Like I want to do no money down now. I went from this type to this type. I can get down payment assistance, or I want to switch lenders because rates dropped. This is going to create some pretty drastic
affect a
changes
lot of
that
families.
everybody needs to be prepared for.
Yep.
and it might not. I know the goal of it is protection of the consumer, but it
not
might
good.
be an overstep, and
This
it might
is-
actually be harming.
You're going
Right?
to probably
This
see the
is,
sellers want one of those agreements from the lender 15 days prior to closing
Yeah.
to make sure everything's done the right way.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll talk
lot
more
more of
about that. Everybody out there, loyal listeners, Facebook page, like Stockwell Roche Show, and put a comment. Thanks for listening. We'll be back. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roche, Remax Advantage Plus.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog,
A classic
all the time.
by Mr. Presley. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roche, Remax Advantage Plus.
For all you pet lovers out there, everybody that loves pets, and a lot of you do, I hope you found the previous two segments very useful and helpful for someone you know that might have someone or a pet that may need daycare. So we appreciate Don and Lori. Thanks so much for being on the show. And you can find their info on our Facebook page, Stockwell Roche Show on Facebook. And what's going on, Josh, for the month of June? 4 drawings,
Four drawings
150
for 25
each?
bucks.
I just
right.
sprung this on Josh. He didn't know about this coming into today.
Yeah, he did. And
But
so,
4 drawings, $150 a piece. Go
My
on,
retention
like our
program.
page, put a comment, and as Josh says, let's blow this up, right?
I do say that, but
question.
I said make it rain. Though.
Can I interject a question?
Yes.
Question here. What if somebody like myself, I already have liked the page? Can I still
go
be entered
unlike it.
to
Comment on
win?
it.
Oh, I just have to comment, right?
Comment.
Well, if you already liked it, then you're automatically did one of the 2 steps, so it's easier for you.
So I
then.
just have to
Start commenting.
comment.
But does it have to be a new like?
I think
That's
no,
what we're
no.
asking.
It's just a like and a, and a
it's
comment.
just a
Like and a
comment.
comment.
Say something about Jason's beard.
I
Whether
trimmed
you
it.
like that or not.
I trimmed the beard. And you can see our YouTube on there, on our Facebook page. Also, you see what my wife, Katie, looks like she's pregnant. You'll
Beautiful,
see Casey,
Katie.
you'll see Maddie B,
Beautiful,
you'll see
Katie.
Josh, and you'll see Don and Lori, our guests. TCRealestateHour.com is our website. We're on every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on The Patriot. Last week, we had Eisenberg on, which talking
Yep.
about predictions. But before that, we'll recap real quick on the $20,000. Maddie B, have you seen any takers on that? $20,000 for vets. It was a very generous program.
Oh, yeah.
It's a generous program. Doing some specifics on it, and that was Eden, right?
Eden with Greater Metropolitan Housing, yes.
I actually had a B&I meeting this morning, and I actually passed out those
Flyers.
flyers to the
nice.
members in the group. All of them were really excited. It's Minneapolis specific. So,
One of them is Minneapolis specific.
One of them is Minneapolis specific. So it's a good program. I'm excited about it. It's I've got a couple of vets that I'm working on them trying to find a house right now. So
Yep.
it's something that I brought up to them as well. It's like, hey, it's
I think
free money.
Both are $20,000. One was Minneapolis specific, and one was for 7 County Metro.
Yep.
And so you'll find that as well. Useful information like that on our Facebook page.
But not only for purchase, but for rehab as well.
that was
purchase
also
or rehab. Yeah, so if you need a new roof, new kitchen, stuff like that.
Something else that kind of went along with that. I got an email earlier this week about the city of Minneapolis has actually got another down payment and closing cost assistance program. They $865,000, basically enough money to help over 100 plus home buyers move into the Minneapolis community. It's combined with a cultural specific outreach to promote racial equality and home ownership. Basically, down payment and closing cost assistance to purchase a home anywhere in Minneapolis. Income eligibility is $99,500.
So you have to make $99,000 or less a year, and then
Is that for one person, or
and
is
then
that for
you
a family
get
house?
down payment assistance. So for those of you listening out there, that I know some of these like we call them programs. It may sound like a negative deal, like
It's definitely not a negative deal. This is free money, and it's forgiven.
well, free money, but someone pays for it, right? So we're talking. I know a lot of listeners out there may be more conservative on the financial end, but the point of this is it spurs the activity. So if you can get a first-time buyer that may not know they have the ability to purchase a home, or maybe hesitant,
Yeah.
or maybe very nervous about it with the downturn we've had, they will buy that first-time home, and this helps them do that, which then everybody reaps the benefit of that.
Yeah.
So even though you
All
may
ships.
be in the $750,000 home and may say, who cares about all these programs and giveaways and all that stuff? I don't think that it's necessary. But the person who bought your 750 is buying it from you right now. They may have been able to buy it because they sold their 400 to someone who sold their 200 to the first time buyer. So that domino effect reaches up to you for these programs. So we're of course a little biased because we're in the industry of real estate, but we see this help you directly and people you know
pushes
directly
everybody up.
in the families. And we're not saying, hey, it's all socialism and communism when we do all this, but it's getting that first step in, and some people need that help to get in for that first step and that confidence. So, so that's a great program. I like that. Triad. We said it. Triad. What do we call it?
Triad.
In my eye, and like you said, anything that says triad is bad. Like that.
It reminds me of a devil with 3 horns or something like that.
I'm really not excited about this, to be honest with you. Like, we all have to contend with it, but it's.
Well, that's what everybody's making it sound like. So I'm hearing in the industry. Josh and I are laughing when I say devil with 3 horns. I hear of all the negativity of this thing, like it is the worst thing ever. And I'm going to read real quick what someone sent out the other day. It says August 1st, 2015. Real estate transactions will fundamentally change. And change is tough for all of us. We like things the way they are. These new rules will help buyers better understand the costs associated with the transactions early on, but will also cause a lot of transactions to be delayed. So they're warning us, right?
Yep. Talking about that, they were saying changing just a lender could delay you up to 15 days just to go. Rates drop 1/8 of a point. About $200,000.
So I'm locked in with Wells Fargo or XYZ Bank,
and I happen to get you on the phone and hey, interest rates are actually lower than that. And to be honest with you, I'm lower than Wells Fargo all day long, anyways.
Okay.
So if I got somebody,
Let's get that little in there.
So if somebody happens to be with somebody else and they can be sold a lower interest rate, because the compensation on how mortgage people are paid, it varies between companies. So always check with, have a professional that you're dealing with. Like if you have a real estate agent, take their referral, because they've already vetted all of these people for you. So same thing with a mortgage broker. When they're referring you to a real estate agent, they want you to work with somebody who's competent, not the guy who sold one house last year to his uncle.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want somebody who
with your
does
biggest
this.
asset.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So let's say I'm with XYZ Bank. I'm at 4 1/8, and I'm like, and I locked in, and I call and I say, someone refers me to Matty B. I call Matty B. Matty B says, I can get you a little lower than that. And I'm like, I want to switch then. So now I switch.
Now you switch.
And it's easy normally, but now it might not be as easy, right?
Yeah, now it's not so easy. Now this is going to trigger...
After August 1st, I should say.
This is going to trigger... even if we were with the same... Even if I had your loan as a broker, I had your loan here, and I'm taking you to a new lender because rates have dropped and you wanted you're going to go somewhere else if we don't lower the interest rate. That's going to kick you back at least 15 days because there's disclosures.
Well, you got a full underwrite with a different company anyway.
Yeah.
So that's, you're looking at least a 30-day underwrite.
And it's going back to the days like 6 years ago, where 6 years ago people put their closing date out
to 3 months. And then all of a sudden it started to shorten. And lenders were like, well, you know what? You don't have to wait that long. I can get you in 30 days. Now we're going to see that trending back towards let's push it out a little bit, close sooner if we can, but it might not be.
Well, what these mortgage companies need to
capable.
realize is what they need to do on the back end is they're going to have to go get more support because they're going to have to get these disclosures out, the HUD ones out 3 days prior to hand. And we always talk about that, how we want that. How many times does that happen for you where you get a HUD 3 days prior to
Not
closing?
3 days prior, a day prior is normal. But here's the deal. Here's what it says. So for you buyers out there and sellers out there, it says, in a nutshell, the new rules established, they established new timelines that must be met by lenders regarding final numbers. There are many things that buyers might do that can really throw this process off. So it goes back to being, as a buyer and a consumer, we're serving you. Josh, myself, realtors, Maddie B with mortgage, we're serving you. We're doing everything we can, but we have the parameters to follow through. So something that you may have been able to do prior to this, you may not be able to do without throwing off a dramatic chain reaction.
And there's a lot
or
of
a
things that can
domino
happen.
effect in the.
If you go out and get a lot of stuff on your credit card, you pull credit, you get other stuff that happens on it, and they do that final credit pull.
I was just going to say that's one of the new things these lenders are doing now is they're actually pulling a credit report just prior to closing,
So if
just a
something
soft
changes,
pull. And like, oh, you went and I see you bought furniture.
Yep.
There's a lot of examples.
Yeah.
So in summary, here's what we want to tell you, our loyal listeners, besides going to Facebook and liking and commenting and getting in for the
And
four
getting in
drawings.
for the $150.
I'm talking about
It
Jason
says we do not understand, or we do understand that this is not a fun part of searching for a home. This is not the fun part of searching for a home. But we urge you to choose an agent or a team that is on top of these changes, so you know exactly what's going on. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. So Katie Stockwell, what do you think? Thanks for being here. What do you think?
Well, change scares me, so I'm just curious. How often do these changes happen? Can I ask you that real quick?
They happen a lot because every transaction happens a lot.
happens.
So
Yep.
we have 30 seconds left. Katie, I want to say thanks so much for being on the show.
Okay.
Casey, thanks so much for being on the show.
We love you, Katie.
Katie, I love you, my wife.
love you
Maddie
too,
B,
Katie.
thanks so much.
Thanks for having me,
O'Shea
guys.
And Jason Stockwell. Next week, we'll have a great show, but be sure to go to our Facebook page. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh O'Shea, Remax Advantage Plus.
Talk about Jason's beard.
Remember, love yourself and love others.